Hey everybody, it's Sunday night and it's Tom Antion live. So glad you could make it tonight. Oh, I bet everybody's breathing a sigh of relief. At least the first part of the election is over. Now we got to get through the protest periods. Yeah, it's been crazy. Let me refresh this Facebook page here so we can get her going. Hey, Roberto's here. Hey, Roberto, how are you? So if you're here, throw a comment in there, folks, and say hello. And we'll get going here. Got people rolling in now on a Sunday night with a supermoon. A supermoon. Hey, Warren, a supermoon in a 6-year period of my life was, we had, in my entertainment company, we had a guy that was 450 pounds, and he did an act called a moonogram. This was when I had the practical joke company, entertainment company up in D.C. and you know, every business has its technical difficulties, right? So, hey, Holly, how are you? So if the guy had more than one job in a day, to see he did a thing called a moonogram. The message was actually written on his behalf. All right. And, hey, Alan, how are you? And so if he had 2 jobs in one day, somebody had to erase the first message and put the second message on. So to me, that was a supermoon. However, if you go outside and you can see just a big, beautiful full moon, and you can, if you have any binoculars, you can really see a lot of detail. I mean, most of the time where I'm at, the moon's looks pretty good anyway, but just a little bit extra now. Hey, Richard, how are you? So, let me get my notes out here. But so that's what a moon means to me. All right. Well, our fake sponsor for this week is the National Enquirer. And one of the reasons is they really got me, because I picked this up at the newsstand, and I haven't bought one of these, has to be 20 years maybe. And and the bill at Walmart was just a little high, a couple bucks higher than I expected. So I looked at the receipt, and it's $5 for an Enquirer. I bet it was probably less than $1 when last time I bought one. I guess it costs a lot of money to dig up dirt on people, huh? But so our fake sponsor, who is not sponsoring us, let's be clear about that, is the National Enquirer, the Hillary and Bill issue. So I'll check that out later. So we got a great show today. Let's see what's coming up. Well, we got mailbag stuff. And hey, Dennis, how are you? You new to us? We're glad you could make it. Leave a comment. Tell us who you are. Throw your website in. We'll give you a little shout out. So let's see what we got here. We've got a lot of news. You're going to learn exactly what not to do with chopsticks. Okay. And the news is pretty much filthy and disgusting, almost every one of them tonight. So be ready for that. You know, put eyes, see no evil, hear no evil on the kids, because there's some crazy news out there. In the scam section, that's a wrap. In the brutal self-defense, I left it out last week. I can't believe it. Alan, how could you let me do that? I forgot. I skipped right over it. Let's see. Oh, was last week when the thing quit on me? I can't remember. In the internet section, tweet. And in the speaking tip, I'm going to stay neutral on this. Let me close these things. And on the A-hole of the week, we're going to have the poster child for term limits in Washington. And then in the hero of the week, we're just going to horse around a little bit. So there we go. So let's see what we got announcements here. Well, we got the Facebook groups coming along good. GreatInternetMarketing.com /screw the commute. GreatInternetMarketing.com /screw the commute. It's putting tips in there almost every day on how to run a successful business. I mean, I've done it for 40 some years formally, and before that, when I was a kid, I was running my own business. So I got a lot of tips in that group and a lot of good networking, and you can advertise on Fridays too. Let's see. What else we got here? We finally begun the process of accreditation. I want to thank everybody out here who supported the school, who took a scholarship. I'd still give you a couple more. We have over a year to get the accreditation going. It's a big process, way tougher than the just getting the regular license. So I want to thank everybody, but I'll still give out scholarships if anybody wants one. Let's see, what else? Don't forget the hashtag businesses against snowflakes. Businesses against snowflakes, where we want to get a movement of business owners saying, hey, we're not going to hire people from places that put up these safe spaces and, I mean, just go overboard. I mean, I'm all for being safe at college, but not from just words that you don't like and you got to cry. They had a cry-in at a university. I mean, this is crazy that these kids are going to be taking over the country. I mean, this is ridiculous. Feel free to put a comment in there. Put your website. We'll give you a shout out too. I'm going to refresh the laptop here because you can see it a little better. And let's see. Here we go. So that's good. Let's see. So let's get to the mailbag. Well, Jerry said, what did I think about the elections? Well, I got to say they were interesting. And I'm a guy that in my entire life have never watched one inkling of a presidential speech, anything. I'm an election, the candidates, nothing. All right. And then all of a sudden, Donald Trump gets on the scene and makes it so much fun to watch. And no matter how crazy it was riveting to watch. Now, all of this, by the way, would have been gone had Ross Perot had a chance. See, that's my whole thing. I wanted a business person to get a chance. And Ross Perot wouldn't have been so, crazy with his rhetoric and everything, but still, he was a good businessman. I wanted to get him a chance, but he didn't make it or dropped out or whatever happened back then. So I'm happy with giving this a shot. That's about it. I mean, I'm happy that, supposedly my Second Amendment won't be under attack for, the next 4 years, which I was very worried about. I'm happy that I'm not going to be fighting Syrians at the border. And I'm Syrian. I'm Syrian heritage. I don't know if people knew that out there, but Antion was a mistake. My dad was born in Antioch, Syria, and when he came to Ellis Island, they couldn't read it. So from Saman, from Antioch, see, they named you from what village you were born in the early 1900s. So they couldn't read it, so he turned out to be Sam Antion. All right. Warren said, I always thought I was broken. I hadn't either. No. Here's Alan is putting his website, surviveanddefend.com. And he's just getting ready to send out the Sunday safety and self-defense tips. So make sure everybody registers over there to get his free safety tips. Alan's a great guy. I saw his picture, his sniper picture from way back this week on Facebook too. So anyway, that's what I think about it. It was very interesting to watch, and I'm pretty conservative. I mean, I don't care about most issues. I mean, I don't care if gays get married. I could care less. I care about good and evil. That's pretty much the bottom line with me. I don't care. What else do I don't care about that they were talking about? Well, I do care about our borders, and I care about the wages of our working class people. because it's just crazy to just keep bringing in people and sending money. Well, here's what really pisses me off, is sending all these trillions of dollars to help everybody else on earth, and we got our own veterans sleeping on the sidewalk. That's fucked up, all right? So hopefully something will be done about that. Oh, and I heard something interesting tonight. Trump just said on 60 Minutes he's not taking the salary, the $400,000 a year. Now, what I wish he would have said was, I'll take the $400,000 and I'm going to give it to directly to wounded warriors or something. Something that's helping somebody out. I wish he would have done that, but anyway, that was quite a gesture to just say, okay, I'm not taking a salary. I couldn't see Hillary saying that. So that's what I thought about. Okay, Pamela said, I saw one of your videos where you were shooting video while driving. Isn't that dangerous? And how did you do it? I guess you want to do it too, huh, Pamela? Well, I have a device. Now, I have to get a new one because I got this gigantic laptop, thing, iPhone 7, that's way bigger than my 5S. And it's way heavier, too. But there's a company called iStabilizer.com, that makes suction cups and selfie sticks and things like that, good quality stuff. And so I put the suction cup on the windshield at eye level, make sure it's eye level, so that the camera can be straight rather than tilted up or down. And then I plugged the microphone, and it was an iPhone, and you had to have a special microphone to plug into it. There's only about 3 feet cord on it that you couldn't see. It was hanging down and clipped to me. I could have got away without it, but it gave a little better sound quality. And then you got to be darn careful. I mean, a lot of it I was doing while I was stuck in traffic, where it was dead standstill going through Delaware. If that's the one you saw, I'm not sure. And then the other things you got to worry about is if you have like a sunroof, or if it's a cloudy day where there's cumulus clouds. Well, your light is going to be bright sunshine for a minute and then go dark and up and down all over the place. So that's one thing that can mess up the picture. And keep the thing out of your sight level. I mean, if you're going to be doing it while you're driving, you don't have to look directly into the camera when you're doing a live thing while you're driving. Now, I'm not going to be responsible if you crash. If you're a weak driver to start with, I wouldn't be doing this. Pull over somewhere and talk to the camera. But anyway, that's what I did. I had iStabilizer. Hey, John, nice to stop by. Give us your website and where you're at, and we'll give you a shout out. Let's see. Warren says, I have a 7 Plus iPhone with a new converter jack. It's so annoying. Yeah, but it's just so darn big and heavy. That's the thing. So that's how I do it. That's how I do it in the car. Okay, Joaquin says, I saw you got some flack over a satirical post you made on Facebook called The Biggest Loser. Then it disappeared. Did you delete it? Yes, I did, Joaquin. I wrote a satirical post pretty much slamming, hey, Holly again, Bill Clinton and Hillary. But it was satirical based on real stuff, but it was, satirical and exaggeration humor, and it was just stupid, basically. But it was funny to people that aren't too sensitive. So I had some sensitive people slamming me saying I'm sexist. I don't know if they're cross-eyed or if they can't read. It's still on there. It's called The Biggest Loser and has two big blue balls as the graphic. And it was about Bill Clinton being the biggest loser because he was all excited about getting in that Oval Office while Hillary's traveling. Okay, you might love Hillary if you're crazy enough, or if you've lost any kind of moral compass that you think she's wonderful. Screw you. But the thing is, it was just supposed to be satirical, and so people started giving me shit about it, so I just deleted them. Hell, I don't need that. I mean, I got 5,000 people on this thing and maxed out, and 40,000 customers, and I do a lot of good in the world, so You know, you can't please everybody. I learned that a long time ago. The people that, I mean, even people on this thing, you know, I cuss and I do this and that. You know, I'm sorry if that hurts your sensibilities, you wouldn't be here probably. So, hey, Charlotte, how are you? So yes, I deleted them and don't care. You know, and what's interesting to me is some of the people giving me bad comments didn't fulfill their agreement with me in the first time, and they're saying that they don't look as me as high as they used to. Well, if you looked at me as high as you used to, you paid your fucking bill when you were in my program. So, oh, there's Kathy. She gave me a little shit, but she still loves me, so she's allowed to be on. So anyway, hey Rod, how are you? Nice to see you. David, nice to see you. No, David, at this age, I'm not changing. I'm 61 and a half years old. Can you believe it? Okay, so anyway, so I don't know, Kathy, if you should really be here because the news tonight is really kind of bad. Let's see. All right, so yeah, we're getting into the filthy, disgusting news for this week, and I can't make this stuff up, folks. I mean, so the first headline is "Man gets," and this is real. Man gets chopstick lodged in penis. Folks, if you're going to eat Chinese, I'm telling you, please be careful. Don't. A man was too shy to approach a doctor about blood in his urine. He attempted to identify the cause of his illness. And he inserted a stainless steel chopstick in his penis. And he had to go surgery with the 7-inch long object rammed in all the way. Crazy. Here's the only really cute one of the whole thing. Did you know, and somebody spent money researching this, some big university or institution, that rats, dang Tom, you look great for 61, thanks. That's because I laugh a lot. Rats get excited and giggle when they're tickled. If my taxpayer dollar went for this study, I am going to be pissed. I will not be laughing about it. But yeah, in fact, it showed that rats love to be tickled and that they burst out in the equivalent of rat laughter during tickling. I can't. Oh man, can you imagine working on that project for years? That's your life's work. that you know that rats like to be tickled. Okay, now here's one. This just came out. Here's headline: Mom claims that sperm smoothies boost her immunity. I did not make this up, folks. A single mom of 2 claims she beat the flu by drinking sperm smoothies. Tracy Kiss, 29 years old, puts a spoonful of her best friend's donated semen into her drink every morning in a bid to boost her immunity. She's a personal trainer. I wonder if she suggests this to her clients. I don't know. I definitely would lose weight if she tried to tell me that. And she also advocated it as a facial ointment. Both of these I could make such jokes about. And she said on her bizarre beverage concoction, she says, I'd been feeling run down and had no energy, but now I'm full of beans and my mood has improved. And she says it can taste really good depending on what my friend had been eating. I can't make this up. So that's our filthy news for the week. All right, let's get to the scam bag. What do we find in the scam bag, everybody? You should be ready for this and type it in. The scumbags. Type in scumbags, everybody. And this is a very common scam. Some of you may have heard of it. It's called the car wrap scam. This is where somebody will contact you, or you'll read an ad saying that if you wrap your car, yeah, thanks, David, scumbags. If you wrap your car, you know, with those, you know, like Red Bull, or make it look like Budweiser beer or something like that. If you let them wrap your car, you'll make money from just driving around with your car wrapped. Well, this is a total scam. Here's how it works. And it's very similar to other work-at-home kind of scams. Hey, Dennis, where they send you a check, thanks, scumbags, yep. They send you a check for supposedly your salary and the cost of the wrap. So let's say they send you $1,000 and the wrap is supposed to be $600 and you keep $400. That's the idea they propose to you. And they tell you to pay the people that are going to do the wrapping job. So you deposit the check from them for $1,000. You write a check for $600 to the people that are supposed to do the wrap job. And none of this exists. So your $600 gets cashed immediately, and they take it. The $1,000 check bounces, and you're left holding the bag. You're stuck for the $600 to pay back to the bank. So that's the car wrap scam. It's the same scam with a different wrap on it. So it's where they send you too much money. Same kind of scam happens if you, let's say you listed your TV on Craigslist or something, and they send you, the TV's $300 and they send you $800 or $1,300, and they ask you to send back the difference with a check of yours. Boom! As soon as they get it, they cash it, and you're screwed. So you never sold the TV, didn't get any money, and you lost money. So that's the car wrap scam. All right, the self-defense tip that I missed last week. Hey, Tim, how are you? So this is a little bit of a combination. If you get stuck somewhere and you don't know what to do, you want to always think about what around you can be used as a weapon, and you want to get an opening to use it that surprises someone. So even with me being supposedly Mr. Badass, you're not going to see me up like this. All right, let's fight, you know, yeah, or egging somebody on. Let's do it. Let's go outside. If I did do that, as soon as he walked out the door, I'd lock it and come back in. All right, so you really need the element of surprise. I mean, I'm big and strong and, you know, pretty fast for my age and size, but you may not be in that situation. You may be a target because somebody thinks you're, you know, an easy target, or you're a lot smaller, whatever. So you want to use the element of surprise and find a weapon of convenience. All right, so I'm sitting here right now, and I'm surrounded with weapons. I've got this plastic cup, and it's a double whammy, because you know what I could do is throw this water in your face and then hit you with the hard side of the cup. All right. Now, if this water's coming to, I don't care how big, how bad you are, unless you're highly trained, you're going to flinch and give me an opening to crash into you. Okay. Here's another thing here. Oh, this was our sponsor last week, the Dust Off. I could spray this at you. You're going to go like this, and then I'm going to hit you with this end. This would really, really hurt, all right? A lot of times, if you have any kind of book or magazine or newspaper or hand scarf or keys, whatever, right here, if I just threw this at you, you can't see what's going on behind it, right? If I threw this to somebody over here, they can't see what's going on behind it, and I'm coming right through with a palm strike, or hit them with my mouse or my try not to use a cell phone. You can, but you want to be able to use it to call an emergency. So whatever's here, I'm behind it and they can't see. So I don't care how big, strong, fast you are. If you can't see, you're going to, that's my opening. So the first thing is make a distraction, throw something at somebody, and then be right behind it in that small opening with some improvised weapon. Could be a glass, a remote control for a TV will hurt like hell if it hits you. Try it. Hit yourself real hard with it. See how you like it. See? So that's the self-defense tip, is keep the element of surprise, throw something to get you an opening. If you can cover their face with a handkerchief or scarf or book or newspaper, that's even better. And you be right behind it where they never know. They feel like they ran into a brick wall and they never saw it coming. So they can't defend against it as well either. Yeah, if you throw something in somebody's face, their hands are going to come up. But still, that's not going to stop me from crashing through that hand like this, because there's no strength here. If somebody's just going like this, it's easy to push their hand right in their face. Eh? All right, that's your self-defense tip. Okay, internet tip, pretty quick. If you have multiple Twitter accounts, like I have Scam Brigade and Tom Antion, and Scam Brigade, I get really badass on people that are bad. I mean, I call them names, I call them out, really get after people. On my Tom Antion account, Lakia handles most of that. I don't even know what I say over there. But switching in between them is always a hassle. So there's a program called Quick Tweet. Quick Tweet. RC, how you doing, man? Oh, Dennis, thank you, Dennis. Love your stuff. Thank you. Quick Tweet. It's a little Chrome browser extension or plugin. I'm not sure what they call it. And it just sits up in the top of my browser, and with one click on it, it opens up a little drop down with all the different Twitter accounts. And if I just click one more time on which Twitter account, it closes whatever I'm in, Twitter account, goes to the new one, opens it up, and I'm ready to go in 2 seconds. So that's beautiful. Quick Tweet, it's called. I think it was free. It's just an extension, browser extension. I don't know if it costs anything or not. I can't remember, but it's just very, very handy. Quick Tweet. That's your internet tip. Now here's your speaking tip. Now, on these kinds of things where I don't give a damn if you like me or not, and just you won't come here if you don't like my attitudes or my opinions on things, that's fine. But if I'm at a speaking engagement where it's my job to be, inclusive of everybody, and, I'm there and they paid their money to get there or whatever, or, you want to keep politics out, you don't want to talk about religion, none of that stuff. But you still want to be current. So it would be, it'd be almost impossible to ignore this election period that's been happening. So what I want you to be is what we call neutral topical. I just made that phrase up, actually. Neutral topical. And because if you start ragging on Hillary, part of the audience is going to be mad at you and really come up and give you shit about it. If you start ragging on Trump, the other half is going to. So, and that's about roughly, came out about half in the country. So unless you're there for politics, stay the hell away from picking a side or letting your true feelings be known. It's not the place for it. However, ignoring it, you could do a better job at your speech by bringing it up, but in a fashion that doesn't offend anybody. So that's called neutral topical. So let me give you some examples here. Let's see, I got, and they're harder to find because you can easily just type in election humor and then half of it's bashing Hillary and the other half's bashing Trump. All right, and those are easy. There's tons of that out there, but that's going to get you in trouble. So let's see. Here's one. I could say from the stage, hey, boy, this election's crazy, isn't it? I'll tell you what, whichever one wins, they're going to have to move from opulent homes to public housing. Right? So see, all I'm doing is making a comment. They're both rich. Not offensive to anybody, see? So that would get by. Now here's another one that it makes you think that it's going to be one-sided, and then at the end it isn't. Hey, Alan, it's so one person's talking to another person. So what do you think about the election? Oh, it was awful, a total disaster, the worst day of my life. Are you a Democrat? No, I'm a pollster. All right, so again, so it has nothing to do with who won, who didn't, what you believe in. It's just that everybody's saying the pollsters were all wrong. You know, so non-offensive. That's called neutral, but it's topical. So that's a good point for you. That's your speaking tip. Here's one more I forgot. There's a cartoon with the polling booths next to each other, but one of them says vote here, and then the other one says shower here. And there's a guy walking out with a towel around him because everybody was saying they're holding their nose which one they wanted to vote for. All right, so that's another one too that you can get away with. And what you would do is, well, just like I did, as I told you about it, I didn't actually copy a copyrighted cartoon. That's we can talk about cartoons another time, but that's the way you can tell what happened rather than actually show it and violate a copyright. There's no copyright problems if you just tell a cartoon that you saw and you explain it well enough so that people can understand it without actually seeing it. Okay. Okay, so let's see what we got here. The a-hole of the week. This guy, Senator Harry Reid, I think he's from, I don't know where he's from, but Nevada. Now, which I don't even know how to pronounce it now. There was a big thing about that. This guy is the biggest dick. I mean, everybody hates him. Everybody is thrilled he's leaving. But after Trump won, he's calling him a sexual predator. Well, he's got a lot of damn nerve with Bill Clinton coming up, you know, his buddy with him, all right? And just total, it came out with tweets. I think they've been deleted, but, you know, everybody saves these things, and he's just the biggest asshole of all. I mean, and all of these people flopped on Jim Comey, the FBI guy. You know, oh, he's great when he didn't indict her. You know, he's terrible when he makes you think there's something wrong. You know, and then, oh, he's great again. So they're all full of shit to it. But this guy takes the cake. He's my a-hole of the week. And you talk about all this trouble, all these protests and stuff. He fueled the fire. Geez, at least Obama tried to cool things down, and Trump on 60 Minutes looked right in the camera and said, "Don't worry, I'm not, you know, you don't have anything to worry about. I'm not coming after you if you're a good person. I'm coming after you if you're a gang member, if you're a gangbanger, if you're a drug dealer. Yeah, I'm coming after you. If you don't like that, well, I don't care what you think. Go ahead and protest." All right, so get rid of that jerk. So glad he's leaving. What a jerk, senile little prick. I was tweeting to him, what a bad stuff, put it that way. All right, but our hero of the week makes up for all of that. This guy, this is my kind of guy. The guy's name is Harry Swimmer. Harry Swimmer. He's 86 years old, and he retired from the insurance industry, I don't know, 25 years ago or something. And he was in the parking lot of a mall or something, and he met a young girl named Stacy. Stacy was in a wheelchair, and Stacy was deaf and nonverbal. She had cerebral palsy. And Harry Harry had a horse farm outside of Charlotte, North Carolina. And Harry met this young girl. I don't know how that happened, but he met her, and he went home and he started wondering, what if he could get her on a pony? Just as a really sweet thing to do for this little girl. And so he did it, and she just lit up like unbelievable. So he went and became an equine, he went and got certified as an equine therapy instructor, and he closed his extremely lucrative horse farm. And he turned it into a nonprofit called Mighty Riders. I think it's M-I-T-E. I don't know why, but Mighty Riders. And he's built this thing, and this will just, if you look this up on CNN Heroes and see his story, or just type his name in, I'm sure you'll see it. He gets about 60 kids a week. He's got 200 volunteers a week he has to manage to run the place. And some of the success stories are just unbelievable. He said some kids that were totally nonverbal actually started to speak. Unbelievable. Wonderful man. And some kids who couldn't stand up ended up standing up. And what he attributes it to, he says, well, when you're riding the horse, physically the horse lurches forward and backwards and moves sideways with the body. So he claims that that was strengthening the core of these kids that were wheelchair bound that never got any real exercise. And some of them actually stood. So Harry Swimmer, man, what a wonderful guy. And also, besides that, psychologically, the bond with the horses and with Harry is just unbelievable. All the kids love him. All the volunteers love him. 86 years old. And he said, you know what? You know, I could have retired a long time ago and just sat around and done nothing, and I'd be dead by now. Says, I gotta stay alive and keep this going for these kids. And that's very typical of why they suggest you volunteer, because these other kids depend on you, and it gives you something really to get up in the morning for. He actually exercises 2 hours every morning. He says that's important too when you get older. It got me beat. So Harry, love you, man. I hope to stop by there and see that place one time. Mighty Riders outside of Charlotte. So thanks everybody. That's our show for tonight. Go out and do something great for somebody. Try to stop the bad things that are happening in the world, and stay out of the riots. Stay home. Don't. I mean, you gotta. It's crazy out there. People are getting beat up if they say they voted for Trump. You know, or one guy didn't even say anything and he got beat up. And somebody else claimed he voted for Trump and he's got beat. There's some really nasty stuff online there. That's why I like to stay home. I don't have to deal with all that crap. So, as always, check out Antion.com/pro speaking for our new professional speaking mentor program. And stay home, stay safe, and make some money.